So one of the things we were talking about before we got started was that we can't believe that a lot of these women are in a position that they're giving all of their money to a pimp. Was she a pimpless prostitute? Is that how she was able to spend all the money on consumer stuff?
Yeah, she was one of the rare ones. She was like an independent contractor at the time. It was all like Craigslist and all these different websites and all that.
So she wasn't walking the street.
No, she was strictly doing the internet game and all that. But 99% of these girls, they've given up all their money to a pimp, which is just crazy when you think about it. You know, you're putting so much of their life and soul and blood and everything else into what they're doing and getting zero in return.
How does that possibly work? I guess, can you describe maybe the psychology? Because I think a lot of us listening to this would be like, how the heck are these women doing all of the work? They're in all these dangerous positions. They're getting beaten. They're getting abused by the customers, by their own pimp. Like, how is it the arrangement is such that they are giving away 100% of the money?
The pimps call it the game, and the game for them is to find vulnerable women that is seeking something, seeking a father figure, seeking some type of family, and they're already broken already, a lot of them. And so they're coming in 50% broken down, and the pimp will do the rest. So that they're in search of that need for that desire of having a family. So the other girls that are in his stable and the guy, provide that. Everyone, we're humans, we just want to be loved. So they're giving that love, but then at the same time, they're just being broken down psychologically. And these guys are so good at manipulating people that these girls will give them all their money and all their time and all their effort just for this rat bastard pimp, to show them some kind of attention and some kind of affection, which they never got as children. And yeah.
So, because I'm assuming you've come across a lot of pimps in your time as well, are all of them just absolute dirtbags? Are there any guys that are actually trying to, hey, I'm going to protect you well, I'm going to try and make sure you're healthy? Like, are all of that, like, walk me through the average profile of a pimp.
Yeah, I mean, they're providing shelter for them, they're providing food.
So they're renting an apartment for them or something like that?
Yeah, they're allowing them to live with them, or providing some kind of means. So food, shelter, affection, even though it's distorted affection, but it's all for them. It's not, they're not doing it because they want to help this person. It's all just to suck them dry of their money and of their skills and what have you. So the girls, maybe she's getting taken off the streets or some kind of foster home or whatever, but it's gonna break it down even more. It's not for a good purpose. So it's just his ulterior motive of just ripping their souls out, and then once they have nothing else to give, then they're thrown out.
It seems like part of the game is to also get them hooked on some sort of substance. That seems like a key part of this puzzle for the pimp.
Well, if they're not addicted to drugs already, they're gonna, the horrors of going through prostitution, of having continuous sex with strangers and just creeps, that they're gonna have to look to solve that problem of that torment, of that depression. So drugs are always available, and they're gonna probably take that and try to ease that pain a little bit, and then that makes them even duller, dulls their senses even more to get them out there. Like if the girl's tired, just take some of this, take some of that, and then get them back out on the strip.
So is it lucrative to be a pimp if you have, I would imagine, 3 to 5 women and it's $1,000 a night? That sounds like it's a decent income, but the guys that I observed didn't seem very wealthy to me.
They're really not. They're living in ghetto neighborhoods that are just the ones that we've encountered. I mean, there's very few real successful pimps that are living high lifestyles. I mean, you'll see some of the documentaries out there, but those are like the 1%ers, the outliers and all that. But it's like anything else. Your average drug dealer is not living in Scarface type style mansions. Yes, are there extremely successful people out there? Yes, but for the most part, your everyday average drug dealer and pimp, they're not making a whole lot of money.
They were just barely scraping by.
Yeah.
We talked to a pimp yesterday that he said, because I said, it really seems like you're not treating women well. I mean, it's the obvious statement, but you can't say it too heavily because they're in the car with you and you don't want anything crazy to happen. But why do you think you treat women that way? Like, have you ever had a soft, loving, intimate relationship with a woman? Like, the most beautiful thing a woman can provide for you is that warm feeling. And I think he got his heart broken by a girl when he was 12 or 13. He said, since then, I've never loved a hoe. I've never let myself be vulnerable again. And what would you say is the kind of the psychological profile of the pimp? Like, how do they come to be? Do they have a certain pattern in their childhood? And what leads them to do something that to me is just so obviously dirty, evil, bad? Like, what leads someone to that place?